Hey folks, it's us, Sako and the Moon. If you're watching this, you probably watch our main show on Fridays. Uh, this is a fun little side project that we're doing where we review movies. And this past week, we interviewed Vamp Chat's Dan and Eva. And at Dan's recommendation, we watched Therapy for a Vampire, 2014. So
Ooh-wee.
yeah.
Oh, that movie.
Oh, that movie.
Oh, that movie.
So
You know what? Hey, Dan, if you're listening to this, go ahead and connect with the show. I need you on this episode so that I can talk to you about this movie. This movie.
Yeah. I think, and I'll admit of like ahead of time, I made it about halfway into the movie and I watched it in little chunks because I just didn't have time this past weekend.
It's a holiday weekend, so many people.
A Pollock is looking forward to this.
Oh, I got you. I got stuff to say.
Okay. And Amanda is here.
Hello.
And I guess we can get into it. So we have a 4-star system. And within those, we have 4 categories. We have theme, we have production, we have writing, and we have characterization. And within those categories, we have 3 kind of like prompts to get us talking about that category. And we decide whether or not to give it a star per category or not.
That pretty much sums it up.
Yeah. So let's get into theme. What's the message? So
accept your girlfriend the way she is.
Yeah.
That's ultimately the message.
Yeah. So
let me go ahead and jump ahead. Normally, I will wait until we get to the plot section of writing before I go through like just a rough summary.
I kind of go into it in the backstory here. So let's go to the backstory. So it's Vienna, 1932. A depressed vampire who finds himself trapped in an endless marriage with his wife of 500 years seeks therapy from Sigmund Freud. That is the summary of the prelude.
That's pretty much the gist of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie's weird. It boils down to accept people as they are, for what they are, not for what you want them to be. I guess that's the overall message and theme of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. It's just weird. What I didn't know is that this movie would not be in English.
Yeah, me too. It's in Austrian.
I did not realize that this movie
Austrian German.
It would not be in English, so I had to read the subtitles as I was watching it. Now, it didn't take anything away.
I kind of go into that in the writing a little bit.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. And what threw me off, here's what threw me off. When I start the movie, I didn't, mind you, I didn't have the captions on at first because I didn't know it was going to be not in English. So the first thing you see, everything is blamed on his mom.
Everything.
So the first thing you see is a headstone, and the headstone's written in German, right? So the headstone's written in German, and then it says, like, as a superscript, it says somewhere in Vienna, right? So I'm like, okay, this is in German, but it's like somewhere in Vienna. So maybe it's Austrian. I don't know if there's a difference between Although they spoke German.
There's some vernacular, some slang.
So respectfully,
Mhm.
they're not speaking in English. That's the bottom line point. But the superscript is saying, is it English? So I'm like, all right, cool. The rest of the movie will be English. We'll go to somewhere someone is speaking English somewhere. We'll figure it out. And it never happens.
It never happened.
It never happens. So
I was like, oh boy.
So this misled me. And I'll get into that later on, but that misled me to believe that this would be in English. There was nothing else. It was on Tubi, so I'm not holding a whole lot to it. But there was I'm not saying it has to have like a warning label like this is in blank blank. But when you're adding that to as an actual part of the movie in English, because my captions weren't on, so it wasn't in the captions. If you're automatically going to throw that in English, I'd assume the rest of the movie's in English. That part should have been in German also. And that's my whole thing. So it threw me all off. But sticking on to the theme, you have this vampire who's sad.
Count
The Count. Yeah. I didn't catch his name either.
Kernzom or something like that.
There was so much other weirdness going on in this movie. It just throws me off. If you walk in it thinking it's a serious vampire movie, you're disappointed.
Yeah.
If you accept up front that it's like a silly horror comedy, even a parody of Interview with the Vampire, that's better. But I wouldn't even say it's not even a parody of Interview with a Vampire, because Interview with a Vampire, it's modern day. And you're sitting here, the therapist is sitting, the journalist is sitting with Louis, and then they flashback as he's telling his life story.
Yeah, they don't do that.
This is not it. This is all live. This is all happening in real time. You can hear about how scrambled I am about how just weird this movie is. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. He's depressed because the girl he actually loves died and said, I'll be reincarnated. You'll find me eventually. So in the meantime, which the timeline also throws me off. We'll get into that later. But so that he gets with his wife. He's with his wife for like 500 years or whatever. He's sad and doesn't love her or whatever. And he's just basically seeking out the reincarnation of his true love. Simultaneously, we have this painter who is working with a psychiatrist.
Not just any psychiatrist, but Sigmund Freud.
Is it Freud?
It is Freud.
Sure. Because fuck it, why not? He's working with Freud and he's writing down these dreams that Freud's other client has these dreams. He's recounting them to a painter so the painter can sketch them. Why, I don't know. But he is. So here we are. Simultaneously, this painter has a girlfriend who he doesn't truly appreciate. I think she is too independent for him, and he's not, he can't handle her independence, and so he's all saddened by that.
Yeah. The tone and the mood was dark and full of romance. There was romance all over the place.
If you can call that romance, sure. You have a very different definition of romance than I do, Sako.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, this was not romance. There's a whole lot of what the fuck moments that happen throughout the course of this movie.
Oh, okay.
It's like, really? We're doing this? Okay. All right.
Okay.
This happens.
All right, cool. That's fair. So for the theme, I say give it a star, but I don't know if you agree with me.
I'd love to hear your reason why.
Because I super love the time frame. I thought the acting was really good. The tone and the mood, and also it was in German that I could understand. The theme and the message, and I dare say that it is kind of my jam. Like it was.
Here's
Maybe it was executed differently, but the bass theme was pretty solid.
Here's where my problem is. My problem is that the ultimate message that I get from this is let a person be who they are, because they can't ultimately be who you want them to be.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that comes from the painter's girlfriend, and none of it comes from the vampire. This movie would have been perfectly fine without any of the vampire additives to it.
Yeah.
So given that the movie is called Therapy for a Vampire, yet the ultimate message that I walk away from is the part of the movie that did not include the vampire.
Well, the count,
right?
Because it included his wife, who the countess.
It did, and none of that really mattered to the ultimate plot, because you had these two side plots ultimately just interacting. Basically, you have the countess, the painter, and the painter's girlfriend all interacting in the course of this movie with some miscellaneous other characters there too. Mm-hmm. There was the assistant to the count, and then there was the Freud, and
the old woman.
And the meddling old woman, she was funny.
Funny.
Hold on to that. I'll get back to her.
Yeah.
But we have like the vampires played completely secondary to the overall plot of this movie. And for a vampire movie, and I call it a vampire movie because he was the one getting therapy, and that's the title of the bloody movie.
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended. I can't.
Okay.
I can't. So we'll go half a star here. We worked on our half star, so we can agree on the half star because you agree with it. You're cool with it. I just can't.
Okay. Let me make a note of that. Yeah. Let's see. Production. Boop. So the art direction was very, like, the colors were very
what is that? What do you call it when you get like photographs and you use like that antique filter? Sepia.
Yeah, it's a little sepia.
Yeah, that's what I got out of the art direction, which for an old-timey kind of movie, it was trying to set back in an old-timey period. Yeah, fuck it, I'm cool with that. Yeah. And you're generally consistent with the color palette over the entire movie. I like the clothes.
The cars
were cool. Like everything was.
They're in Vienna, which is
a time frame?
Classic kind of city where
late 1900s. It's like late 1900s, early 20th century type of.
Yeah, 1932.
1932. Yeah. Earliest 20th century. Perfect. It was fantastic. So
yeah. The timing was great.
So I'm cool. I'm cool with the art direction. I like the outfits.
Everybody was
costuming.
Pretty.
Everyone was. It was a very pretty movie. It was aesthetically pleasing throughout the movie. Looking at like the color grade, looking at the setting and the cars used. I do love
the composition for each shot was really nice.
Yeah.
There was obviously a photography major that set up those shots, you know.
So. It looked good. And that's number in filmmaking, that's number 2. If you can make your movie sound good, number 1, and look good, number 2, then you're fine. And sound is number one, because if you can't understand what's going on, or the sounds are jacked up, it doesn't matter how pretty it is. But if your movie looks a little weird, but everything sounds pretty clear, you can probably get away with it.
You could, and that goes with YouTube too. So
it's fine. We're pretty. It's fine.
Makeup and props. The creepy doll in the beginning, the blinking doll was fun.
That was a good. That was a good opening. So it opens with like a. I don't want to say grave robber, but there happened to be a cemetery nearby.
A robber.
He was a robber. Like, he was trying. Well,
burglar.
I wouldn't even say he was a burglar.
He was looting. He was
taking advantage of what looked like stuff that was put out in the street. It's like if you put stuff outside your house and it looks like you're getting rid of it, it looks like trash. And if people go through and take your trash, that's not stealing. That's grabbing your trash, seemingly. So he's going through. There's like an old estate. Oh, thank you, Jenny. There's like an old estate, and people had put stuff out. It was kind of covered with blankets because of the elements or whatever. It's not winter.
He was at the castle of the count.
So it was just stuff that looked like it was just thrown out outside. So he was looking, and they saw like a busted up doll, the one that Sako was talking about. It blinks. It's just like one of those little clink, clink. Clink,
but
clink.
It's the kind that usually, if it's laying down, the eyes are closed. If it's sitting up, the eyes are open. But we all knew static.
Had those kind of toys.
It was static, so it was just
looked creepy.
Blink,
and it was a good way of setting that up. It was a good way of like, okay, some creepy shit's going to happen in this movie. You just need to know. This is the first 5 minutes, and what you establish, because that's all the point of our show is, teaching people how to do the things. What you establish in a film in the first 5 minutes is going to tell everything about your movie. You want
especially. So my next note is the blood, because I love making blood. I love seeing blood. It is kind of my jam. So the blood was splattery and goopy. So there was like meat in it. Because spoiler alert, the Countess, or who you assume is the Countess, obliterates the burglar.
Oh yeah.
And
she's ruthless.
And I like her.
I like her. She was probably one of my favorite characters in the movie. As little personality as she had.
Okay,
that's not fair. She had. I'll get more into it later, but she had personality, but it's very muted. Like
she's very
very Wednesday Morticia, more Wednesday than Morticia, because Morticia has always been very sultry, but Wednesday is always kind of like, we're going to do things this way, and if not, I'm going to kill you.
I think we'll go more into her
during characterization.
During characterization. Cinematography, we kind of talked about it in the art direction.
There wasn't anything wrong with camera shots. In fact, there are. It does.
I thought it was kind of slow. It was a slow burn sort of movie.
Generally speaking, maybe. I feel like no. We're talking about cinematography, and as far as the cinematography is concerned, the shots they chose to make and not make were good choices.
Right.
There were off-screen kills, which was good, because sometimes the actual showing of a kill scene is hard. So if you're on a reduced budget, or you just don't want to be super graphic, you can make a choice by showing some, not showing others. Just showing the insinuations, like there was the two guys that came out of the bar, and she snatched up one of them. This is the Countess. She snatched up one, and the other guy's just kind of hanging out there, sitting there, and then next thing you know, there's just blood splattered on them. It's a lot easier to execute someone sitting off camera with a bucket and splash, and you throw it on a guy.
Yeah.
To show that, like, someone got killed near you,
Right.
than to actually show something actually happening. And sometimes that's just smart cinematography, because you don't want to make it, if you're going to show it, don't make it look cheap, don't make it look fake. It's got to be convincing. That's the whole point of making a movie. So if you're not able to do that confidently or convey it confidently, insinuate it instead of showing it. And this was a great example of when to insinuate it as opposed to showing it. I have zero problem with the production of this movie. I have zero issues. Is it a fantastic movie? No. Was it made by a fancy Hollywood, all the Hollywood gadgets and such? Probably not.
Probably not.
But there's still nothing wrong with anything they did production-wise.
Okay.
I argue with the script.
Okay. So I give it a star for production.
I'll give it a star for production, yeah.
Okay.
I can easily do that one.
And then we go to writing finally. So the dialogue. For one, it was a German flick, so it was fun to see how I could keep up. For those of you who don't know, my mother is German. I grew up with German. It was technically my first language before I learned English. So hooray for subtitles. What they were saying and what the subtitles said were different.
And that is common. That is so common. There was an episode of,
I think it was contextual and less direct translation.
There was an episode of the Necronomicon with James Sabata and Don Guillory that I was on, and I forgot what movie we were watching, but we were discussing a movie where the subtitles did not match, because like we had one of us watched it dubbed and the other one watched it with the subtitles, and as we were covering, it was High Tension. Because that movie's in French. The movie's in French. So I was trying to figure out which movie we were watching that we need subtitles and dubs. So one of us watched it with subtitles, one of us watched it dubbed, and none of us know French. So we were discussing how certain lines hit and didn't hit because the audio translation was different than the subtitle translation. With that, I have a hard time critiquing the dialogue because I'm not hearing it in its original language. So I will give the benefit of the doubt that it was accurate or well enough.
Well enough.
Yeah, well enough. And overall, my biggest complaint is with the story in general. But I don't see anything wrong with any of the particular lines and such.
I felt like they talked like they were ancient vampires. Like it
wasn't quite as stereotypical as I would have expected, and I like that. I think it.
Speaking of stereotypes, I love the tropes. I love the vampire tropes. I am a vampire fan. I write vampires. Vampires are my thing. And the mirror that
which
the
is actually it's a big deal. We'll get in a second.
That's a big deal. We'll get to that in a second. The OCD, where you throw the tacks or you throw the coins and then snatch them up like professional the hypnotism. I eat that stuff up. I really do.
All right. So here I go. All right. So first of all, there was a part where I'm not as familiar with all the vampire lore. I knew all the things that you just mentioned. There was one point where, okay, let me start over so we can get into this part because plot is here.
Okay, plot is here.
So the Count misses his girl, right? His lost love, whatnot. Simultaneously, in this painter and his girlfriend's relationship, this guy makes a huge mistake. He is a painter trying to paint his girlfriend, and he doesn't actually paint his girlfriend. He paints, I guess, who he wants his girlfriend to be. He paints this whole nother woman. I don't know what the hell his problem was, because I think that's the number one way of having your girlfriend leave you. It's like, hi, this is what I know what you look like, but this is what I want you to look like. That is red flag and mistakes number 1, 2, 3, 4, and probably number 5. Don't do that. Guys, if you draw your girlfriend, don't do that. Draw her as she is. Now, if you're a caricature artist, don't draw your girlfriend. Just don't. You're gonna hurt her feelings. That's just the nature of caricature. Don't do it. Discuss it beforehand. If you're just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't. So as this plays out, we get back to the Count and the Countess, and she, of course, as a vampire, hasn't seen her own face because she has no reflection. She hasn't seen her own face in a few centuries, so she misses her face, right? She wants to see her face. She wants to know what she looks like.
She wants to be told that she's beautiful.
She needs that reassurance. And if she saw herself, she'd probably be fine, but she can't. So the Count went to go see the therapist, who was given the painting that the painter had fucked up on, right? He's like, who's that? He's like, oh, my assistant, my little helper painted that for me. He's like, no. Who's in the picture? It's like, that's his girlfriend, kind of. He's like, well, I need to meet her. So now the Count wants
because he thinks that it is the reincarnation of his lost love.
And boy, do I have a problem with that. Give me a moment. So then, as he finds the girl who was painted, obviously she has a painter boyfriend. He's like, I got it. I'm going to get this painter dude to paint your face. Then you can see what you look like. That's actually a smart idea. Good job to the Count. So he sends his Countess to see the painter while he is seeing the girlfriend. That whole blow up was a whole thing. And so now we have this weird switcheroo thing. It gets stupid after that, because now the Count is wooing away the girlfriend. He wants her to fall in love with him at the sound of 3 knocks. So who knocks 3 times? The Count's assistant, his little Igor, essentially, right? I know that's Frankenstein.
Renfield.
Sure, go to Renfield. So he knocks 3 times. She sees him, falls in love with him. Now she's in love with the assistant. Now the assistant's in love with her. So then the Count is like, you know what? Scrub this night. You remember nothing from yesterday, and sends her home. The assistant's still in love with her, so now he's acting all sideways. She acted sideways to the boyfriend. The boyfriend is upset about how sideways she acted to him, but she no longer remembers it. She's like, I don't know what's going on. I've lost a whole day, and now everyone's acting weird around me. Now, when I say she was acting sideways, she came home one day looking like the painting that he drew. And she was like, okay, if this is how you want me to look, fine. Now I look like that. And now you mad. So then they have this argument. She sees the Count outside, looks out the window. She falls to her death. Almost. He catches her. And then she's like, well, you saved my life. He's like, you want to go to my house for a drink? She's like, sure. And I'm like, what? This is one of those what the fuck moments. Who just does that? Who just does that? This is to get the weird plot moving in the direction they wanted to, which is fine. It doesn't actually make sense, though. That's not how any of that should have happened. None of it should have. You can argue with me if you want to. I anticipate you should. I didn't like it. I didn't like the writing of this at all. Because then the boyfriend just looked out the window, like, "Are you fucking serious? You're just gonna just dip off with homeboy?" It's like an old.
It was very German.
I'm like, okay, that's
I think there were a lot of cultural things that you're not catching.
I can concede to that. I can easily concede to that. I
Uh-huh.
okay. I got nothing. Now if that's something, now as a writer, maybe you can agree with me on this. If that's going to be something that's going to be maybe not culturally hit everyone, add an example of it earlier in the movie.
Yes.
Have go to a bar or a show where someone gets upset, guy's arguing with his girlfriend, some other guy steps in and she's like, oh, well, I'll just leave with you. And then they leave together. Show me that as a norm throughout in the early part of your movie, so that when it happens to our set of characters, I'm already conditioned to that.
Sure.
Right. And you can do that in 2 pages. Right. Talking about in a script, you can do that in 2 pages. So 2 to 5 minutes of film time, you can convey that message early on. And there's a lot of introductory stuff that happens in the first 10, 15 minutes of a movie.
That have nothing to do with
it never
the
has
rest
anything
of
to do
the
with
movie.
nothing. It's just setting, it's just scene setting. You know, think about any movie in the first 5 minutes, outside like maybe like an opening credit scene or whatever, you can just establish where you are, right? And those scenes that establish where you are, who we're dealing with, whatever's happening, you can throw all of this stuff in real quick, like I said, in a page or two, which is roughly about a minute or so. Throw it in there. If there's something that you need me as a watcher to accept or you know, whatever, throw it in there. Now, if it's
they weren't making it for American audiences.
I was just about to say, now, if it wasn't designed for me, it was just designed for that audience, you don't necessarily need that, and it's just on me to know better. And I don't know better. To me, that just looks sloppy. That just looks vengeful on the girlfriend. And just like, all right, fine, fuck it, I'll go. Yeah. Now, side note, homie didn't get in the car. He just sent the car off because he was going to just fly himself back home. And when she got there to the house, she was pissed about it.
Yeah.
So she's like, you can just take me the fuck back home. And he's like, nah, you good. And then she falls into a hole, and
the hole that was
had a dead body in it.
An herb garden.
Right. But it had a body in it because she steps up on a dead hand, and that never gets addressed again.
Nope.
I think that was like, it might have been the dead ex person or other, or maybe some victim. It never gets addressed. So again,
it never gets addressed, but I love it. I loved it. I love that.
It's not Chekhov's gun. It's not Chekhov's gun. It's just an example of, oh, he lied. He's being deceitful. That's what that was. So there's elements that I can take for what they were. I'm not the biggest fan of how the story was written because it's just kind of weird and twisted. And then they get oddly stupid vengeful because there's another part of the movie where the painter goes out with the count because he's trying to get something else started. And he's like, let me get to know you better. So he goes out to eat. Where does he pick? The restaurant he knows his girlfriend works at. He takes another woman specifically to that restaurant he knows she works at. He even sees her through the window. And he's like, and then comes back. And I'm like, y'all are messy as hell. Y'all messy as fuck. Quit. Bruh, you fucked up. You started this shit by fucking up because you couldn't just paint a girl as she was. And then I think he still did it again with the countess. He still drew the same chick. Like, dude, pause. You want this chick, and then you get this chick, and you're mad at her. Like you wanted your girlfriend to look like this. She turns around and looks like this, and then you get salty.
Yep.
The fuck, dude. Like, again, and these characters in that sense did make sense to me. Also, and I told you I mentioned this at this point. The timeline. She was supposed to. So the count and his little love, she dies, right? And then he's supposed to.
He gets a letter from her.
He has
like a little box that is a shrine to her. Yeah.
And in this box, that letter says, I'll die. You know, I died. Tomorrow I'll be reincarnated. Come find me. Now, I didn't see anything saying like constantly repeating this process. I mean, I guess that's kind of how reincarnation works. But it's like, I'm going to just keep living and dying until you find me. Like, I didn't see that part. It looked like he was looking for that reincarnation of her, which if he was with her prior
it didn't
to his
say
life,
tomorrow. It didn't say
I thought
tomorrow.
it did. Maybe that had to do with my subtitles. I don't know. Maybe I read it weird. It looked like she was immediately going to be reincarnated sometime very recent, and 500 years he was married to his wife. So this timeline, does that match to me? No.
As a vampire,
help me out. Convince me.
I do think at the condition of the letter, as gentle as he was being with it, as aged as the paper was, leads me to believe it was before the marriage.
Exactly. So I feel like
there was no tomorrow in the subtitles for me. So, like, he obviously pines for this lost love, the one who got away by dying, right?
Yeah.
Who obviously knew he was a vampire because...
Oh, yeah, she knew.
Because she was like... She had all these, like, caveats that he had to abide by in order to actually sire this incarnation.
Yeah,
and he thinks
he has to bite her willingly. She has to be willing to be bitten on the first full moon after they meet.
Right.
See, I caught that part.
Ding. Okay, so writing. I can't give it a star.
What's your reason? Because I know my reason. I've already said it. I don't like the script. I don't like how I thought it was just too. I thought it was clunky.
It is clunky.
It's too circular.
It is slow burn.
It's too circular. There's too many characters just kind of running in like a weird figure eight thing. And
I think writing wise, it could have gone through more revisions.
I think it needed.
There are things that I would change about it.
It needed developmental editing. I think it needed someone to sit down with. Okay, tell me from the script the line of events. Sit with me, and then we go over the line of events, and it's like, okay, why would he do that then? Why would they go there then? Why would they do that next? And question things as we're moving forward. I don't think that happened. And again, I give space for
ancient vampires acting like teenagers. Like
everybody's being petty and messy. Like it's okay. I will say this. I did like this one part where she fed off these drunk dudes, and she was drunk after the fact. And so he was like, all right, let's just go put you to bed. And then it was very funny. And then she's like, will you hold my hand until I fall asleep? It's like, fine. So he's holding her hand. And then he goes to move his hand. And she goes, and holds his hand again. So he's just kind of sitting there next to the coffin. Then she falls asleep. And he just kind of like loudly throws the lid of the coffin on top. I'm like, okay, this is comedic. And even in the vibe of comedy, it just didn't work for me. Just didn't work.
Okay. So, yeah, you kind of convinced me that the writing was sloppy. Aside from the cultural differences, it was petty and messy. And
it was petty, messy, and it ultimately led to the vampire realizing this is not going to be his chick. The countess bites her first, so it throws off everything. So then they do like a whole transfusion. She thinks the powers are cool, so she's down, and then he takes the powers away from her. So she's like, "The fuck." I was happy, and then you took it from me. Every time I'm happy with something, some guy gets mad around me. And so it boiled down to, let a woman be who she wants to be. Again, all of this could have been done in the storyline with the painter without the vampires. It probably would have been better.
Probably would have been.
A vampire movie should never be better without the vampires.
No, that's bullshit.
Exactly my point. A vampire movie should never be seemingly better if the vampires were taken out. Like if you have like another couple that's a rich couple, all human, this story would have played out almost the exact same way.
Oh, you mean like the vampireness?
Yeah.
Despite the
only factor that impacted, the only vampire factor that actually impacted the story was why the Countess couldn't see herself, leading to why she wanted to be painted. If it was just like an older woman who just didn't like the way she looked and she wanted someone to tell her she was pretty or show her she was pretty, so the rich husband said, "Let me hire a painter who will make you look pretty." This story would have happened the exact same way. Minus the extra stuff with the assistant.
Well, that was a timeline. That was like a 1932 sort. Like people were still getting portraits then.
And I understand that. And that's what I'm saying. Like a picture, like a photograph would have been, or reflection would have shown her as she actually was. But if there was someone who wasn't happy with her looks, if someone's not happy with their looks, there's nothing I can really do about that. I can't just instantly make you younger. What I can do is hire a painter who will make you look younger, if that's what you feel you need to feel better, right? Because he did what he was supposed to do and to still give her the compliments, still say you're beautiful to me. He still did all that stuff. He didn't say, "Oh, you're ugly, I need you to change your looks." He never did that. The boyfriend kind of did, but the Count never did. So if the Count was like, "You know what? I'm going to hire a painter, and when he's done, he's going to make you look beautiful again. And then you can see yourself beautiful." If the Count did that with the money he had, perfectly fine. The movie would have had the same plot line. We could have gone through the same thing and no different. That was the only vampiric element to this movie that actually impacted the progression of story. And that could have easily been done without the vampireness. And if you can take the vampire element out of a vampire story, not a good vampire story.
Not a good vampire story. Yeah, so no on the...
No star for me.
Okay. Characterization. We've kind of drilled it to death, but the casting, I thought the casting was good.
I can go with that. The cast was good. It was well acted. I think that there's a difference between how a character being portrayed and how an actor portrays it. I think for the characters given, the actors did their jobs.
Yeah.
I think the characters were themselves. I just think they were bad characters. And they had a bad story. Love the old woman. We mentioned her earlier. I just wanted to give her a chance to talk about the old woman. She was the meddlesome neighbor. They were having a fight earlier, and they opened the door. She was just right there. She's just at the door eavesdropping. And when the Countess shows up and the painter's there, and it's just the painter and some woman she doesn't know, she tries to drop off candy, and she was like, "Ooh, I should remind your girlfriend that I was here during this period of time." Also being messy, nosy neighbor. So then after he makes her leave, he opens the door right back up, and she's got her ear back to the door. She's eavesdropping again. Again, they set that up earlier, and they showed it here in practice. I loved it. She was funny. The assistant the Count's assistant was also funny because now he was just trying to get his love back, even though it was a spell and whatever. I thought that was kind of stupid, but he was at least still funny.
Okay.
It was dumb, but it was still funny.
consistency, evolution. I mean, they came to the conclusion that, you know, you should love who's in front of you.
Love yourself as you are, and then love people for who they are.
Yeah.
Quit trying to change yourself for somebody else, and don't try to change somebody to fit your whims. Like, that's a good message at the end. But again, as I said before, none of that has anything with the vampireness. Like,
Okay.
it's cute.
The POV was 4 people.
Yeah. That's fine.
I'm not a fan of movies that or books or media in general that has more than one main.
I think the story,
I think it should have revolved around the Count.
it should have revolved more around the Count, given that he was the vampire getting the therapy.
Right.
Even the therapy sessions really were just a matter of introducing the Count to the painter and the girlfriend, which is fine plot wise. Something had to make the connection. It's cool. But you have this couple over here and this couple over here, and the point of view was actively on screen with any combination of the 4 of them. Like, you either had, rarely did you have those 4 without someone else in that 4. The therapy sessions were the Count and and Freud, but outside of that, you had like the painter with the girlfriend, the painter with the countess, the girlfriend with the Count, or the, you know, stuff like you had usually a combination therein, which is fine. I mean, the POV wasn't muddied to me. I just don't think that it focused the way it was supposed to. You could tell this is relatively a parody of sorts of Interview, and even with Interview, you have one point of view being told through flashbacks, right? So it's Louis' point of view of all the things that happened since him and Lestat got together, right? So that was consistent throughout the entire thing. That was the point of view of the story, because that's what the gist of the story was. It's even in the title. It was an interview with a vampire. So who's the one being interviewed? It's Louis. So who's the point of view throughout the story? It's Louis. It's how Louis interacted with everyone, how Louis was impacted by everything. It's very good, very well done. That's what we mean by consistent. This stayed with those 4. It was still a little wishy-washy. It was still kind of meh. It was fine though. It was fine. It's fine. Because you had an unnecessarily complicated story that it was a very simple story, but you made it extra complicated. And you added the extra complication for the sake of drama. And it didn't really have drama.
What we consider drama.
Yeah. Like, I need something happening for us to try to get out of it or to deal with the problem. I need there to be an actual problem for us to deal with. And I didn't really feel like
any problems weren't, I mean, like, it was basically they would shit on the situation and not even try to clean it up. Like, it was just,
it's like they're being messy for the sake of being messy. It's just like, again, the painter was kind of an asshole boyfriend in the first place. Draw your girlfriend. If you're such a good painter, draw your girlfriend. She's right in front of you. Draw her. Paint her. She's right there. She's right there. And then you're upset about how she's going to react to it after you did it. The fuck do you think was going to happen? What do you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
Don't be stupid. Then she turns around. It's like, all right, fine. I'm gonna leave, and I'm gonna come back exactly the way you want me to be. And then you salty about it,
which doesn't make sense to me.
Like that
So
seemed like
characterization, that's
yeah.
more on the writing though. Like
Again, but it's in yeah, but that was again one of the reasons why I have a problem with like all of this. And like the consistency of characters, like none of it makes sense. That's why I'm drawing that back. Because it was
okay.
in that consistency of characterization and just didn't like why would a boyfriend convey that he wants this look? Like curly hair, wavy hair, blonde, blah blah blah. And
In red.
then
Yeah.
and then when he gets it, be salty about it.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Because that's what led to the fight that led her to walk off, that led her to go with the count. It's like he only got mad so that could happen.
So casting, evolution, POV. Do we give it a star?
I'm torn. The casting was fine. The actors did their job. If I'm isolating this category on the actors and the actors playing their roles and playing their roles well and doing what they were supposed to do in those roles as the script dictates, I can't take anything away from them. Because the problem is in the writing, not the portrayal of the characters. The problem's in the characters, not the portrayal they're in.
Yeah. I thought the acting was great.
I think the acting was good because they were funny when they were supposed to be funny. They were serious when they need to. She was funny when she was being vengeful and made like the weird pepper sauce for him. Like that was like, okay. All right, fine. For what they were doing, they did what they were doing well. I just didn't like what they were doing. So for this category, having already punched them in the writing, I'd give them a star on this part.
I agree. I thought as characters who made bad choices, but characters who evolved and the POV was clear and all of that, like I gotta give it a star. So we got 2.5 stars.
2.5 stars for this movie. I need to have a conversation with Dan about about this movie.
Yeah,
because Dan recommended this movie, and I need, you know what, this Dan, if you're watching, I don't know when you're going to talk about this movie on Vamp Chat again, or you ever have. If you do, call me. I'm in. Like, make sure I'm there. Yeah. I need to talk to you. We need to have a conversation about this movie somehow, some way. We need to. You know what? We don't repeat movies. We don't repeat movies on here.
No, not on Sako and the Moon. Not on our show. However,
if Dan wants to come back and defend this movie, if he doesn't think that, if Dan Klefstad watches this episode and thinks that's not fair, Moon, I'm willing to have Dan come back on this show and convince me to change my score. I want to see if Dan can convince me to do so.
I have to admit, as far as a vampire fan, it you know, like, it's kind of a staple. Like, it has all the tropes. Yeah, it was messy and sloppy and
I would
stuff
love,
like that.
I'm willing to,
but it's kind of like, and it was 2014, right? So there were modern concepts in a period piece that I couldn't agree with, because I'm a history dork, and sometimes I try to enjoy things for the sake of enjoying them, but part of that historical reenactment thing that I used to do, that I was raised with, I get judgy when things don't line up.
Now I can put this, and I compare a lot of movies to this, but there are some movies that don't take themselves too seriously that I love. A lot of those weird creature features, two that I talk about all the time, are like Lamageddon and Velocipaster.
Velocipaster.
I love Velocipaster. It is not a great movie.
But the back scene interviews are great.
I absolutely love that movie.
And they do too, which I love. I love that for them.
So I'll say this, guys. I'll say this. 2.5 stars, in my opinion, is generous. But if you're just looking for vampires and a good 90 minutes to spend without taking anything too seriously, without getting too deep in anything, yeah, go with it. This is a movie. It's on Tubi, so it's free. Kudos to the team that made it for making the movie. I know it sounds so dismissive to be like, well, at least you made the movie. That's a big deal. It is. It is a huge deal.
It is a huge deal.
And it made it for doing it. Yeah. So shout out to them for doing it. It's dumb fun if you want to just watch it for a vampiric comedy. If that's what you're in the mood for, just something you don't want anything that's so serious and overly dramatic like Interview is. Sure, go with it. If you're looking for action like in Blade, you're not going to find it.
Not going to find it.
If you're looking for, like I said, that drama and that deep, rich portrayal of character, like from Interview, the vampire, you're not going to get it. If you want that dark, gritty kind of Queen of the Damned kind of vibe, you're not going to get it here. If you want something just a good waste of 90 minutes, fun waste of 90 minutes with vampires involved, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not Lost Boys. It's not
it's its own beast. I will agree to that.
What's the Salma Hayek one? The one we're in the bar.
Dusk Till Dawn?
Yeah, it's not that.
It's not that.
It's not that. It's not it's in the realm of parody. It feels like a parody of Interview with a Vampire, which is why I keep mentioning it. If you're cool with that, here you go. Like this will be a fun, not great, not super serious movie that takes up 90 minutes of your time. And at the end of it, you're like, that movie. All right, cool. And then you walk away and have the rest of your day. I mean, hell, you're watching this. You're probably off today. So yeah, go ahead. You're off today. It's Labor Day.
You're off today.
Go to Tubi, watch their Therapy for a Vampire.
Therapy for a Vampire, yeah.
And then go to the barbecue afterwards. Save me a plate.
Or buy a car.
Or buy a car. Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Yeah, go buy a car. Matter of fact, do both. Buy a car early and then take that new car to the barbecue. And when you're done and you take the plate from the barbecue and you drive it home in your new car, don't spill the sauce from the baked beans. Don't do that. You're always going to have baked beans in a little tray. Don't spill them in your new car because you just bought it. Go home, open the plate up, turn on Therapy for a Vampire, and enjoy the rest of the night. That's fine. That's how you do it. That's where I am with this movie. I think our
you should be doing something. Well, the thing is like, even if you understand what's being said, you kind of need to pay attention.
I would suggest that. And mind you, it is not in English, and Tubi didn't have like English dubbing, so you're not going to hear it in English. You have to read it, but it's not. It's not
caption subtitles.
Yes, but it's not going to be so extravagant that you lose yourself from reading it. So you're good. You're good.
Heather is popping in. Some love to the stream. She's out with family. Thank you. And
yeah,
that's it. So
this upcoming Friday, we do not have a show.
We do not have a show.
The subsequent Friday, we do have a guest.
We have Renmelian talking about fairy lore.
I thought we had
No. We have
J.M. Seeley.
J.M. Seeley talking about
Lisa
Cooper, the unlife of Lisa Cooper.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, if you want to get a heads up on our guest for the 12th, our guest on the 12th, you can go to Podbean, the app Podbean for podcasting. You can check the episode of Vamp Chat with Dan and Eva, as he was recently on that show a couple episodes back. So go to help our. I figured I'd go ahead and give them a plug because they suggested this movie in the first place. We had them last week. You can go find Vamp Chat on Podbean and then find the J.M. Seeley episode and get an idea who our guest is. And if you like Dan and Eva, want to get to know them a little bit better, come back, watch our episode from Friday and see our interview with Dan and Eva. And then watch this episode again after having watched Therapy with a Vampire. And even after watching this video again, comment what you thought about the movie, because I want to know what you all thought of it. You heard what I thought. You heard what she thinks. Tell me. Read it back. Watch it back. Tell me if I was off. If I was off base. Let me know. That's what the comments are for. Do that. Do that thing.
So you might want to ring the bell if you're not subscribed. Please subscribe. You might want to ring the bell so that you know on the 12th when we debut J.M. Seeley and the Unlife of Lisa Cooper.
On top of that, I'll admit it's not our favorite part of the thing, but our start times are inconsistent.
They are.
You know why? Because life happens. Life happens, and this is live. This is live. If we pre-recorded everything, we can make everything
also Ren
super.
Is very exciting.
Ren's cool. But our show is inconsistent because we're live and we have lives. We're live and we have lives.
And most of our watchers watch and post.
Right.
So we love you guys.
Like this video because we're dope. Subscribe to the channel because you love us. And then get the notification bell so that when we do go live, you know about it. Whether it's at 11 o'clock in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, or I think the J.M. Seeley is going to be later because of his time.
6 p.m.
6 p.m. on that day. Are you going to remember that? I can't hold you to it. So what you should do is set the reminder. Ring that notification bell for all notifications so that when we do go live, you know.
Fair.
So do all the things.
I'm
going to do her things that says so on the little tag right there. Right there. It says so right there. Right there. Do the things.
Or
all right,
now
you can tell this is early. We haven't been awake that long. It's cool. It's a holiday. We're just being goofy here.
Yeah. We will catch you next Friday. And
not this Friday.
Not this Friday.
On the 12th.
On the 12th. And we'll catch you, doers of things that then.
Yeah. Go. Enjoy your holiday.